What is up? Just quickly before we start the video, I just want to say thank you for all the support you guys have been giving me. And yeah, I'm in my new streaming room here. That's why there's maybe a bit of an echoey. And I just want to say we're only 80 subscribers away from hitting the YouTube partner goal right now. If you are a new viewer or returning viewer, please think about hitting the subscribe button. I can see in my stats still we're like 80% of you guys don't subscribe to me. But I see there's more people that have subscribed to me since last time I said this. Thank you so much to you guys and really appreciate it. And yeah, leave some questions in the comments below so I can answer them for like a special 1,000 subscriber thank you video. I want to show off this new room to you guys. And yeah, that's it. Let's get into the video.
What is up? Matchup video. Urien's matchups. Who do I think Urien does really well against and who do I think Urien does really poorly against? That's what I'm going to talk about today. And here we have Urien. We're not going to be using him because Urien versus Urien is sadly a 5-5, even though I disagree sometimes. But today we're going to talk about what characters Urien beats and what characters Urien gets beat by. And I've had it at 7-3 to 5-5. You know, that's kind of the way we're doing it. I don't think there's any 8-2 matchups for Urien. I hardly think there's any 7-3. But let's get into it and let's start with what characters does Urien beat. I feel like a 7-3 matchup Urien has, a matchup I'm 100% confident in, and I feel like Urien wins for me, is Blanca. I honestly feel like Urien beats Blanca 7-3. The matchup is very, very hard for Blanca in my opinion. No matter what Blanca I play, I feel like I have an advantage, and the Blanca player has to do something really unorthodox for me to lose it. I'm very confident going into this matchup. Very, 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 very confident. But I also feel like that's the only 7-3 matchup there is. Now 6-4, that's a bit difficult, but I feel like Urien beats Abigail 6-4. He beats Alex. He beats Birdie. He beats Honda. He beats actually, but the changes to I have okay, here's the problem with this. In season 5, Urien got a new V skill, which is a very, very good fireball that can be hard for Zangiefs to deal with. The problem is I haven't really played any good Zangiefs in season 5, so I don't really know if it's 6-4 or 7-3. I don't know if it's gotten worse or if it's still a 6-4 matchup. I'm gonna keep it in 6-4, but only because I haven't had any real good Zangief practice. I've only played like some Diamond Zangiefs, and those were convincing wins. So I'm gonna keep it 6-4. Mika's hard for me. I want to say Urien wins the Mika matchup. The problem is that we have some really, really good Mika players in Europe. Luffy, Salty Kid, Quickie, like all these Mikas I have a hard time beating. But I think it's more of like the Mika players being good than it is that Mika is good in the matchup. I feel like Urien wins the matchup, on my honest opinion. It's just that, yeah, we have some really good Mika players. He beats Nash. I feel like Urien beats Nash. I'm just bad. I'm just bad at the matchup, but I feel like Urien wins it. Lucia, Urien wins versus Lucia in my opinion. Urien wins versus Seth in my opinion too. He wins against Gil too in my opinion. These are all characters that can't deal with Urien's neutral, where like these characters has a hard time getting around Urien's fireball game, but also like, you know, if they get hit by the V trigger, they kind of just lose. But that's most characters. But I feel like it's easier to make these guys get hit by a V trigger than other characters because they have to take some risk other characters aren't doing. Like Seth is gonna do some X kicks in neutral, V trigger those. Lucia can't really get around Urien's new V skill fireball. These guys just can't really get around Urien's fireball in general. Gil has a better fireball game, but Urien's V skill 2 makes him just nullifies it kinda, to be honest. He also beats Kage. Urien beats Kage. I have trauma with Ed. I feel like Urien beats Ed, but I have traumas. Urien beats Dalsim too, in my opinion. Very easily. Technically, Urien should beat Cody, but Cody is just such an annoying character, I don't know. I feel like Urien beats Cody too, in my opinion. I feel like I just need to improve. in the matchup. I think this is all the characters Urien beat. Yeah, I think so. So now 5-5 matchups. I feel like Balrog is a 5-5. I feel like Akuma is a 5-5. I feel like G is a 5-5. V-Trigger V versus V-Trigger. I feel like we both have... Like, G has better potential for knockdown and neutral. But Urien has a really good fireball game that G has a hard time getting around. So, it's kind of like that. Like, Urien has better... G has better buttons into knockdowns. But Urien has better fireball game, so he can make the G jump. Which then the G is going to get knocked down from. Is Ibuki 5-5? I feel like... I haven't really played... Ibuki in the last few seasons has been 4-6 to Urien, in my opinion. Because Ibuki gets a V-trigger. A 2-bar B trigger. That beats the Urien pretty soundly. And the neutral isn't that bad because of the kunais. Menard is 5-5, maybe 6-4. This is a hard one for me. Because a part of me want to say that it's 6-4. Because it feels like the Menard struggles. But at the same time, Menard is also a good character. I feel like it might be 5-5. I feel like I go back and forth with a lot of Menard players. Probably 5-5. I feel like Cammy is 5-5. It's an annoying as hell matchup. It's really annoying. But if you can lock down the Cammy, it's... like, Urien has the buttons to lock down Cammy. I just need to be better at it. It depends. Like, online, it's hard. Because online, it's 5-5. Offline, I feel like it's 4-6. If that makes sense. I really... Like, this is one of those matchups that's really a difference between playing online and offline, in my opinion. Like, the Cammy player offline is just like they... Like no lag... Focus. Cammy players are very dangerous in that environment, but online they kind of like hold a bit back, where Urien is better online than he is offline, because online he can kind of get away with doing some stuff. He can just kind of throw out stuff and there's a bigger chance of it hitting because it's online. So that's kind of like the difference. Let's keep it 5-5, but definitely like it floats around here, like 4-6, 5-5. I used to think Urien beat Chun-Li, but Chun-Li has become really... I still think kind of Urien beats Chun-Li, in my opinion, honestly. I think Urien beats Chun-Li. I just have to go. I was thinking about my last few matches on ranked and how I've been like struggling a bit against Phenom. Actually, with the Aegis nerf, the buff to stand hard punch. I feel like it's 5-5, yeah. It's 5-5. Sakura. I feel like that's 5-5. Like the speed. Urien has a hard time against characters that has a faster movement speed and can knock down from neutral. That really, like, Urien struggles against that, but he can deal with it kind of, because like characters that move a lot around, funny enough, can get hit a lot by a lot of the Urien's charge moves. So it goes kind of both ways. But there's definitely something hard about locking down a character, because like I can't really, like when I'm charging I can't really move, which means that fast characters can be anywhere on the map very quickly while I'm still holding still because I'm charging. Jury 5-5 in my opinion. Like she's just annoying. Valke 5-5 in my opinion. I would have said in season 4 and 3, I would have said like 6-4, but with 4 Phillips really improving his Valke, I would say it's 5-5 actually. As reluctant I am saying it, I feel like Vega is 5-5. Like, it's just, it's the movement speed again. The fast movement speed, the annoying jump back, the Barcelona. Like Vega can just move around on the map and get around on the map in a way that other characters can't. And it's just annoying to deal with. Plus his flip can be very annoying against Aegis. There's V reversal. Very, very annoying against Aegis. I have to take big risks if I do a Aegis unblock on him. I can't force him into the same plus situations I can with other characters, which is really good. Nekali 5-5. Again, remember I play Phenom a lot, so like and Afra saying you guys might not know him, but I know him, and he's ultimate Grandmaster Nekali. So like I probably feel this way because we go back and forth, and I go back and forth with Phenom. So I'll probably feel 5-5 because of that. I've been looking at Ken, and I don't know. Because Ken is crazy. Ken is annoying because of his EX Tatsu. Oftentimes makes my anti-airs whiff. Because the spacing I want to be in is very annoying for the EX Tatsus. And I always have to keep them in mind in a very frustrating way. I haven't played enough Kens. I would say 6-4 just because. This is very fighting now. Because of how the new V-skill works. I would say that it's probably a 6-4 matchup for Urien. Because the new V-skill nullifies Ken's fireballs. And I can get V-skill pretty easily. Sagat is hard for Urien. Spoiler alert. If you don't know Urien versus Sagat, Sagat is hard for Urien because like you have to keep constant pressure and constant jumping, and like if the Sagat is just calm, anti-airs correctly, it can be very hard for the Urien. But it's like you have to do this perfect play for it to be hard. Rio, annoying for Urien because of his parry. His parry is like another mind game in and of itself. Like if I do knees, he can parry them and punish. If I jump, he can do anti-air DP. We have this very good Rio in Scandinavia and in Europe called Chummy. And I'm just no match for him. He's so good, and he just really highlights how hard the matchup is for Urien. Karen, really hard character speed. Her movement speed and her opportunities to get knockdowns just... Her buttons just nullifies Urien's buttons. It's insane. I have no confidence in this matchup. None. If the Karen plays it right, it's so hard to beat. Gal, it used to be a 3-7. In probably a 7-4-6 now. I need more time with the matchup to know how it actually feels. I haven't played any good Gals in a while, sadly. There's really no Gal. There used to be so many Gals on rank. There's none now. So I need to go out and look for battle lounge matches. And I haven't got to tournaments, obviously. And I haven't been able to play any Gals offline, which is good practice I haven't been getting. So that's why I think it's 4-6. It used to be 3-7, but a new V-skill fireball is so good. I can feel it. It's really good. Laura is a 4-6. Laura has a... If you know how to play Laura, Laura has a lot of good buttons against Urien that nullifies a lot of his slow buttons. So she can get a lot of good knockdowns, and she can also force Urien into a situation where he's -1. And she's right in her face, where you just have to guess between a command throw or a button, and she can keep doing it kinda. It's very annoying and hard to deal with. Fang used to be down here too. I'm so reluctant at saying 3-7 matchups because there's not a lot of them in the game. But it's definitely there. It's definitely 4-6 for Fang. Fang has an easier time versus Urien than most characters. If you play the Fang matchup right, it can be really annoying for Urien to deal with. But the V-skill 2 has definitely also helped. But it's not a win-all situation. Seku, 4-6. His movement speed is unmatched. It's hard to deal with the Seku. Like, you have to be very on point to anti-air Seku as Urien. It's very hard. So his neutral is just straight up better, which then leads to knockdown, which leads to poor guessing situation. I'm not saying it like it's not an impossible matchup. It's just harder for the Urien, in my opinion. Bison is also one of those 3-7s, but that's because like I play against Problem X, an evil champion, whenever I play against Bisons. And then it feels like a 3-7 matchup. But I think it's just because Problem X is better than me. So I think it's a 4-6 character-wise. If you just look at characters and players of equal skill, which is how you usually define these matchup things. Then we have Rashid. Like I feel like, yeah, Rashid is still really good, and he has a very hard to deal with pressure for Urien, like the wind stuff, like the wind projectile, the corner pressure can be very hard to deal with, and you need to be very experienced in the matchup to be able to deal with it, in my opinion. And you can't mindlessly go in. Like Rashid nullifies all of Urien's fireballs unless you understand how to make him not think of them and position yourself correctly to use them. Very hard matchup. Very, very hard matchup also. And Colleen and Ibuki will hold in 6-4. Like, these characters are the closest to being 5-5. But it's just that they both have insanely good V-triggers, and they are only 2 bars. And Urien is a character that also relies on V-trigger. But these characters can get the V-trigger first and just straight up kill Urien before Urien even has a chance to get his V-trigger. which is very difficult. Like, none of these other characters have it like that, if you notice. It's very hard to deal with. Like, it's very unequal footing, because Urien needs a V-trigger to be really effective, but these characters don't really need to be scared of the V-triggers, because most of the time, they actually kill the Urien before the V-trigger comes out, because they get their V-trigger first. So they can get a very big advantage very early on, just because of this small fact. Which is why they are in 6-4-6. But they could also be 5-5, because I feel like Urien beats them in neutral. The fireball game can be very hard for both these characters to deal with. But it's just a matter of fact of the V-trigger that makes it very hard, but yeah. So that's kind of like my matchup list right here. And I feel like I'm going to do the same as the other tier list one. And I'm going to try to sort which one is the easiest to which one that's the hardest matchup in each row. Okay, I think I've done it. So, how I've done it is the character most to the left is the hardest character in the row. And the character most to the right is the easiest character in the row. So let's start with the 6-4. So Mika, I feel like, is the hardest character in the 6-4 row. I feel like, and that might be because of, like, you know, just the characters I play. The players I play against: Luffy, Salty Kid, Quiggy, stuff like that. Hard players to beat. Very hard players to beat because they're so good with their character. Then we get, like, and it's the same with Dansum, you know, Broski, Mr. Crimson, hard players to beat. Abigail, I'm playing against Problem X when I'm playing against Abigail's most of the time. So, you know, also hard player to beat. Cody, I just have a hard time against. I think that's personal. I don't think that's actually like the character itself. I feel like I just need to improve in the matchup. I don't know if there's anything else to say really about this list and the way it's sorted. I feel like if you watch my streams, you get it, why I've sorted like this. Mid section, I feel like G is the hardest. Actually, Kami G could switch places. Akuma Chun-Li could switch places, and Vega Nikali could switch places. So, like, it's kind of like, it's kind of a bit like these characters are definitely the hardest for me, and Jury and Boxer and Poison is definitely the easiest for me, and like Falke and Minard can also kind of switch places. Like those, they aren't that hard, but they're not that easy either. Like, it depends on the player. But it's I feel like it's 5-5 matchup still. And then we have like 4-6, where Bison is definitely the hardest of my 4-6 matchups. Then Karen, then Rashid. And I feel like Garl and Fang is actually dropped. I don't feel like they are that hard anymore to play against. It depends more on the skill of the player than it depends on the character itself. But these, I feel like no matter who plays them, Rashid, Karen, and Bison is going to be a hard match. Whereas if I feel like if it's right now, it depends on who plays the Garl and who plays the Fang, how hard the match is gonna be, if that makes sense. And I feel the same about the rest of the cast too. Like if you know the match, like this is 4-6 matchups, Laura to Ibuki. But if you don't know the matchup, I'm gonna beat you. I'm 100% confident of it. But if you know the matchup, I'm gonna have a very hard time. You know, that's when. It's when, like, you know, a 4-6 can feel like a 5-5 if you don't know the matchup. Or if you do know the matchup, it could be a 7-3. That's kind of like, you know, that's how hard it gets sometimes. That's how it feels. Which is why it's a 4-6, because usually you don't know everything about a matchup. You don't. You don't know everything about my character, and I don't know everything about your character. So it's that unknowingness that makes it a 4-6. If that makes sense. But yeah, this is my list of character matchups with Urien. Hope you enjoyed it. Please discuss in the comments, but keep it civil. Keep it, you know, keep the nice tone. I want to see you guys. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? If there's some of these matchups you have a really hard time against, or if there's some of these that you just think I haven't figured out yet, please let me know. I would love to hear it. I love discussion. And that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. See ya.